Hello, hello. Happy Saturday. It's Saturday at the end or maybe in the middle of July. In the middle of July. Hope everybody had a good 4th of July. Our 4th of July here in Oklahoma sounded like a war zone with all the fireworks and everything going off. But we had lots of fun. I cooked some Mexican street corn on the grill. Everybody enjoyed it. The family. We took a trip down to Texas to visit some family. Gained some new subscribers down there. I've been hesitant to tell people about this channel because, I don't know if you're like me. Maybe you're not, and maybe you don't care, but collecting little toy cars as an adult, sometimes I question myself and the amount of investment that I put into these things, trying to acquire them, the financial investment, and also the time investment. I mean, I don't spend too much time on them, and it's a little bit, I feel like it's still a little bit silly, this YouTube thing and making these videos. And Hot Wheels and diecast in general, collecting as an adult can be perceived and intermittently is perceived by me as being a little bit infantile or juvenile. There's better things I can do with my money, and there's better things that I can do with my time. It's all just a bit of silliness, and so even making these videos is adding to the silliness, I think. But then I come back and say, hey, I enjoy this. And seems like they're good investments. Seems like they hold their value and have held their value over the last 20 years at least. And some of them appreciate in value. So that's how I reconcile all of that. And here we are. But I gained 2 subscribers. I told some family members, hey, I got a channel and I'm trying to do. They have some little boys that are into kind of collectible stuff and stuff like that, and I thought maybe they might have an interest in what we're trying to accomplish here with this YouTube video, jumping into the YouTube fray and learning more about it, what it is, how to do it efficiently, and how to up our production value. So here we have some mini GT videos for you today. As you know, I've got a video about Ford GT that I show off all of the Ford GT castings in mini GT that we've collected so far. We do the regular and the chase of the US release. The US releases usually will come through Miho Exclusives. It's a distributor out on the West Coast. Everybody probably knows about them if you're in diecast, but the international releases of mini GTs, they only come in the box. The US release, because US collectors, I assume, are used to seeing stuff on cards, hanging on pegs, the model, they want to see the model outside of the box before they buy it and open it. For the US releases, they do this. They put them in a clamshell. You can see the car. You can. There's a card that comes with it. You do get the collector's box. There's a collector number. This one is 429. It is the Ford Performance Ford GT MK2. It's great thing about the Miho exclusives is they usually tell you how many there are that come in this package. Now 2400 isn't the entire worldwide release of this car. I think the 2400, and it was addressed in the comments on the mini GT video, is that the 2400 is only the US release that's going through Miho exclusives. So we have this one. It's a Ford Performance. I was able to acquire the chase version. We'll be able to go through that one. And then the next one that's come out was this. This is a different car. It's a Ford GT Uh, well, it says number 85, 24 hours of Le Mans LM GTE AM Keating Motorsports. I just call it the purple one. We'll simplify that saying the purple one. And then I've got the chase for the purple one too. So let's change our viewing angles. We'll open these up on camera, put them on the turntable, compare them, and then we'll have some fun. But if you notice over here, I've got two releases of this guy. I ordered these off the internet, and you have to be careful, and you just want to look at them before you open them. This was the first one that I ordered. I had to order another one because part of the problem with these mini GT4 GTs, especially, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here, but sometimes the spoilers come slightly uneven from left to right when looking at the back of them. This is the worst one I've ever seen. You can see it in the blister, how it's high on the left, sloping down towards the right, and it's so dramatic you can see it in the package. So I didn't want to open this one. I don't know what I'll do with it. I might open it and try to fix it, but when I've tried to redo those in the past, sometimes they just snap off. I think they might be just held on by glue. So you can't get too rough with those spoilers, trying to even them back out. Let's open these up and put them on the turntable. Ford Performance 4GT MK2, limited to 2,400 units. You cut 3 sides of the blister. The card slides out. It doesn't have too much information on the back, just about the company, a little bit about the car, a little bit about the model, QR code, some security stickers, M&J Toys, the distributor, what the scale is. And these, let me see, I usually get in here and kind of pull on the blister. You can get on the back side of that blister with your fingers. It just comes off. There's the box, really nice box. We got the model out. Here we go. You know, I watched one of my subscribers' video on this one. He got this model before I did. And so I was very enthusiastic to watch his review of it. And before this thing came out, I was not very excited about it. I saw it come on the Mini GT's website and just wasn't really excited about the colors or the deco and that kind of thing. But man, do these contrasting blues with the white accents, they just make this car pop. And it really doesn't do it justice, this camera setup. You really have to see it in person, and he does a really good job of going through every little detail around the car. Booster, diecast. I mean, you can see all the details and the graphics. But look at that paint. The paint on this car is just amazing. And there's Multimatic back there. I saw you the one in the package. This spoiler is about as good as you can expect from them as far as slope and evenness. There's the back with the diffuser. All of these details. The little bitty Ford logo down there. Can I macro in that close? It's not gonna do it. Gotta back the car up a little bit. You can see the little Ford down there. It just it's just not wanting to focus in that much, but you can see it right there. All the little details. But all those details aside, of course, all of their cars are detailed. For me, the appeal on this one is the paint. Man, that paint. The blue paint with that light blue paint contrasting against the blue paint, and then the white accents on the tires and the lettering. It's just a really cool looking model. So they surprised me on this one. Didn't like it on the website, on the release photos. Love it in person and on the actual release. This is a Chase 2400 count, so this puts it at either 100 or 50 Chases, depending on whether they did a 24 or a 48 master case, because these Chases, they come one to a master case. They've chosen to do the dark blue as a Chase accent, so it's still got the light blue around, and following with what they've done in the past, the dark blue is now the molded plastic piece in the interior. Lucked out on the spoiler again. That spoiler looks pretty good. Here we go with the Chase. Sorry, my wife come and was trying to bug me, and I had to shoo her away real quick. Because we got a lot, this is the morning on Saturday, and we've got a lot of stuff to do other than Hot Wheels or Mini GT. But there you can see them rolling around. You can see the differences in them. The raw polished base coat has been transferred to the interior. Which one do you prefer on this one, the Chase or the regular? For Mini GT, I think I prefer the regulars to the Chases. Just from a general impression, I guess. I think it's cool that they don't paint the Chases and that they're polished and raw. And other places do that too. Other manufacturers kind of do that same thing on some of their Chases, and a lot of times on Auto World, I'll prefer the Chases because I'm just a big fan of that candy apple red that Auto World does their Chases in. So sometimes in the Auto World release, I actually prefer the Chase over the regular. I don't know if I can say that with Mini GT. Most of the time I prefer the regular over the Chase. However, the Chase, I collect all the Chases. So I've got to get them in my collection somehow. And we'll talk about numbers here. Let's get the purple ones out. Okay, here's the purple ones. AM Keating Motorsports. This is also limited to 2400. I can usually reach behind here and grab the box, grab the blister at the same time, put that right there, dump this out on the turntable. First time I'm looking at these. I haven't had them out. This one is really busy. Got the Michelin Man right there on the back of number 85. All of these race graphics. Look down there on the bottom. Talk about detail. Down there at the bottom sill, there's all this race sponsor lettering and whatnot. Now see, this is a different casting. It doesn't have the big air scoop back here that the other one does. And see, the spoiler braces are farther apart. The spoiler braces on the Ford Performance are real narrow. And even the exhaust is slightly different, it looks like. But this is the one that I have problems with the spoiler with the most. This one I don't really have the problem. This one, you have problems with the spoiler coming in crooked. It's kind of got a gloss purple finish to it. And here comes the chase. Collector number 438. So these came out pretty close to each other, 429 and 438. Okay, put the box right here. And here's the chase. Once again, polished. Spoiler looks okay. Once again, the base coat has been transferred to the interior. There's the purple. You can kind of see the purple in the back. That's probably the same piece. Raw chase for the purple model. So both these releases, number 429 and 438, they came out within 9 collector numbers from each other. I imagine that's kind of the way it happens. You know, you do that and it reduces cost at the factory. You can come out, you can do the same number of cars, or you can do 2 releases. It's the same production run. There'll be different printing in Tampa, of course, but as far as the tooling and the castings and the raw materials, aside from the paint. So I imagine they run, you know, the production run was maybe 4,800 at the factory, and then they just split it into 2 releases. That's my guess. That's just a manufacturing side of me that likes to explore those things in my mind. But 2,400 count on both of these, so the chases are at 50 or 100 depending on the size of the master case. They come one to a case, the chases do. I've seen the numbers on these mini GTs go down the last couple of releases. There was one release, the red one, it was actually 1,440. And then we have these two that are 2,400. I think previously there was one that was maybe 20 in the 2000s. But before that you had 3,000. There was one that was 6,000. I think there was even one that was 7,000 something. So I just wondering, you know, my Toyota MR2 that I drive in 2000, when they released it here in the United States, it peaked out in sales, a little over 5,000 units sold. And of course they were bringing these things over in containers. They were building them in Japan, but over the next 5 years, the production numbers just steadily decreased and decreased and decreased until they just quit manufacturing them and importing them. And I wonder if it'll be interesting to watch as it goes forward, if they stay low like that, or if for some reason these releases were just low and they'll do a bigger number release later on a later release. It'll be interesting to see. I can't help thinking that maybe that might have something to do with the sales. You could get an idea of how the sales are doing based on the trending number of units in a given release over time. So you guys may call me crazy, but that's okay. That's just the way my brain works. All right, let's take these off the turntable. Let's see. Which one of these do you guys like the best? The purple one or the Ford Performance? Personally, it's the Ford Performance for me. Thank you guys for watching Mini GT. They've got a couple more releases planned that I know about that haven't quite made it to the US yet, but it's gonna be as I mess around with this silly camera, it's gonna be lots of fun. It is lots of fun. Regardless of all the reservations I have about doing this, it's still fun. And in the great scheme of things, it really doesn't require that much time and effort to collect these cars. So it's just whatever floats your boat in life. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you the next video that I release. Thanks.